Okay, what's going on, guys? So as you can see today, we're going to be working on my 2015 Yamaha MT-07 over here. As you can tell, it is absolutely filthy. In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to properly wash your motorcycle to get it ready for the summer months. This thing looking gross. I don't enjoy riding. I don't enjoy driving my cars or bikes when they're dirty. So let's get to this thing. I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, so here's a handful of things that I think you should really have around if you own a motorcycle. Start with a detailing brush. They're really soft, and there's so many tight nooks and crannies in motorcycles that having a good detailing brush is quite helpful. Secondly, and honestly one of the most important in my opinion, is a brush like this. As you can see, it has 3 sides on here, and what that is for your chain. It's called a grunge brush. You can go on Amazon and find these anywhere. They're pretty cheap. I've replaced tons of these because they get so nasty over time, and you can replace these all together, which is actually quite helpful. Another thing, not completely necessary, but makes your life a lot easier, is a very soft, this is like a tire brush. So getting under your plastics and whatnot, I wouldn't put this on the paint, but plastics, as motorcycles have tons of like black plastic and whatnot, especially mine, this is really helpful to get in those spots and kind of just scrub them away without scratching your paint. Another thing, make your life a lot easier, is having a pressure washer, a low PSI one definitely, because you can blow out fork seals and bearings and whatnot, and I advise not going very deep. What I mean is like getting really close and try and dig in and get all that dirt out. That is not the point of it. I like using this strictly so I can use my foam cannon, just because I am in love with foaming and it makes life easier and it's quite satisfying. I have stuff like this, like a hose kit. This one I got on Amazon. It is one of those shrinkable hoses, and I know in the past these are kind of gimmicky, but this one is really nice actually. I've used it tons of times when I go to clients' house, and it has nice brass bushings or brass fittings right here. And then on this side, it has a open and close valves. And this one came with a nozzle, so can't complain about that. Definitely having a few buckets around. I don't really have 5-gallon buckets, but I have buckets all over just for washing cars. Obviously, these are some generic buckets, quite helpful. Next, you're gonna need some microfiber towels. This is the best way. Instead of using like a physical wash mitt, I don't like wash mitts because I don't have a ton of them around, but I have hundreds of microfiber towels. So I use these actually to scrub paint and to dry paint. So a soap I use, there are motorcycle soaps. I truthfully don't believe in that kind of thing. So I use this auto shampoo. Go on Amazon and find one you like. Personally, I like this one. It's very dilutable and it's quite reasonable price for the gallon size you get here. Some of the most important stuff is motorcycles get greasy and you need a good degreaser. I get this stuff from Walmart. This stuff is really, really good for chains. To get those absolutely clean so you can re-lubricate them is the biggest pain in the butt, in my opinion. Stuff's like $3 a can, but this stuff, like I said, it's cheap and it is darn good stuff. This is another quite helpful thing. This is a wheel and tire cleaner I use. Same brand as this. This P&S right here. And this is their P&S brake buster. I use this stuff on car tires, car wheels all the time, and it's plenty fine on motorcycles as well. And last but not least, a motorcycle stand. So for the rear swing arm and for the front forks, makes your life 10 times easier. So you can move the rear wheel and you can move the front wheel freely, and it makes it so much easier to clean it. This is a worthy investment for so many things, not just cleaning. So definitely look into some motorcycle stands. Okay, so now that we got it up on the wheel stand here, as you can see, let me take it out of gear. We're back in neutral. As you can see, the wheel spins freely, right? And as you can also see, this chain is disgusting. So my first step always is to clean the chain because it is the dirtiest part by far. So we're gonna take our degreaser. It's gonna get all over the wheels, so that's why I do this first. Okay, and here we go. Give it a good coating all the way around. Grab our grunge brush here, as you can see. Wow, this stuff works so good. This chain was nasty. Okay, Go under here. Get the top of the chain, hit the side of the chain. All right. Spray it again with our degreaser. As you can see how well this stuff works. It's great. I should be wearing gloves. Look at that chain already. It looks so much better already. That's crazy. I'm gonna wash that off with the pressure washer and we'll move on. And another useful tip, so as you can see on my pressure washer, I have a really wide fan. This is the 45-degree angle fan. So it doesn't put a lot of pressure in one spot, but it more spreads it out evenly. And with a lower PSI pressure washer, I feel pretty comfortable rinsing this thing off with just the pressure washer. And if you don't believe me, I mean, I can do my hand from that close and it's perfectly okay. Now we're on to step 2, which is cleaning the wheels. I like to start with the chain, then move on to the wheels, as the wheels are very greasy and very dirty on this thing. So I'm gonna spray it down with my general purpose degreaser. This is Purple Power, diluted 2:1. Spray it on the wheels. Spray on my wheel and tire cleaner. All right. Now moving on with our brush. As you can see, I've had it sitting in my soap solution now for a while. And we're just gonna get in here and start cleaning away. You can see these wheels were pretty nasty, so we got a lot of gunk to get off here.
A few moments later.
I don't know if you can see this, but right here, something got on the wheel. My only guess is brake fluid, and it seems to have soaked into the clear coat. I think we can figure out this problem. So I just have a microfiber pad here. I'm gonna use it for using some compound, which is basically polish, and I'm gonna see if I can polish some of these spots out. This is the first time I've ever had this happen to me, but you know, things get sat around for the winter time, and unfortunately things happen. So, and let's lay it on here like that. And just give it a good rub back and forth and see if we can get some of it to come off. As you can see, from just like 15 seconds worth, I got about 90% of it off. I'll wipe it dry with our microfiber towel. And I'm gonna go back at it again. It's obviously tiring. It's gonna be a lot of work. But I think after a little while, I'm gonna get this wheel looking good as new again. All right, I'll come back to you guys when I'm done. Okay, so as you can see, got this wheel looking good again. I was a little worried about that for a while, and the reason I think it was brake fluid, because it was only on this side. And obviously the brake caliper's right here, so I'm guessing it must have dripped on there. I did do a brake job on this recently, but I don't remember. No, I could have sworn I didn't do anything, but it totally could have been my fault. But nonetheless, got this thing looking good again. Moving on to the front. Same process on the front wheel as we do on the back wheel. This one's just a lot easier because there's usually not grease on this wheel. It's usually just brake dust and dirt and grime and stuff like that. So this one usually takes little to no time at all. So I finished the front wheel, which had the same problem. There was streaks and it looked like grease that I couldn't get out. So I took polish to it again, and it did come out. And thankfully, but I wish I knew what the problem was. I don't know what that is. Like I said, I'm guessing it's brake fluid, but I really don't know. It's unfortunate, but glad we were able to get it out. On to the next part. Okay, now we're finally on to the fun part after we've cleaned the chain, we've cleaned the front wheels. Now it's finally time to clean the body. Let's get to it. I gotta clean these out so we can restart on those bad boys. Okay, so now that we have our clean buckets full of water, we're gonna take our foam cannon, or in this case, if you don't have a foam cannon, grab a clean microfiber towel and start scrubbing the bike down. But I'm gonna use this because it's more fun. go to town now. This thing was so dirty. It is far overdue. And just like in a car, start from the top, go to the bottom. This is why I use microfiber towels, because you can get in all these tight nooks and crannies that motorcycles have tons of. And it's okay if obviously all your electronics get it on there. You get water in them, it's okay. Your motorcycles, you've been rained on before, I promise, you'll be fine. And definitely make sure your motorcycle is cool before this. You don't want to be spraying cool water on these hot cylinder heads. That's how you can crack stuff, and that is no good. So make sure your motorcycle's cool. Just don't even take the risk. Okay, this is what's nice about having one of these. So I can get in here in all these tight spots. And if it's starting to dry off, spray it again, because you don't want this to dry in the hot sunlight. That's how you get hard water spots. Okay, now that I think I have just about everything cleaned off, take off my foam cannon, put back on my 45 degree, make sure it's on there. You don't want that stuff flying off. And rinse it all off. All right, and we're just about done. Time to dry it off. You do not want to let it air dry. As I stated before, you will get hard water spots on there. So we're gonna take some dry towels. I'm gonna go grab another dry towel. As you can see, we got lots, So take another tip, take your towel, fold it in half, fold it in half again. So then you have this side. Once those get wet, flip it over, 2 more sides, so that's 4 sides. And then boom, you do the same thing. Flip it over this way and you have 4 more sides. So you have 8 dry spots. They don't have to use as many towels. Now that your bike is all clean and ready to go, the last step is to grease your chain up. Oh my gosh. As you can see, yep, cracked my ND filter, so have to get a new one of those. Lovely. Thankfully, it didn't break the lens, so this was pretty good insurance. My lens actually looks fine. This is the chain paste I use. I use chain paste over like a lubricant, just because I feel like this flings less, and I will tell you, a little bit goes a very long ways. Paint it on. Very gingerly. I do not put a lot on. And then I go under here. Okay, and that's it. I barely use any. And if there's a bunch of excess, we just wipe it off. The bike's all clean now, the chain's greased up, we're ready to go. If you guys enjoyed that video, if there's anything in the video that you would like, it will all be linked down in the description. It'll be an affiliate link, so it will be giving me a slight kickback if you guys decide doing that. If you enjoy watching the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment for more. Thanks guys, see you in the next one. Peace!